From the cards I've pulled, it seems as though you've maybe awakened to yourself a bit. You are represented by the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very stable, nurturing, warm, abundant energy. You know, this isn't a confidence that comes with a sense of elitism or exclusivity. It's simply owning your own authority in your life and enjoying the bountiful surroundings and harvest that you and you alone have produced. You know, behind you, there seems to be some insecurities or fearful thinking or not being able to see the beauty of things. You're focused on these spilled cups. You were focused on mistakes. You were focused on what was going wrong. But what shifted? I don't know. It seems like you have taken time to dwell in the shadows, to reflect on whatever has been, you know, sort of plaguing you here, because that takes you to the Ace of Wands. It's like you're back in action. You know, there's a sense of momentum, there's a sense of inspiration, there's a sense of creativity, there's a sense of movement. And on your mind, you know, you have the Queen of Wands and the Six of Wands. So you intend to gain the respect and glory that you deserve, for greater or for lesser, whatever, wherever that kind of fits for you. Meaning you just intend on being happy at the very least and maintaining a level of self-respect and dignity. There are many choices to make here. There's no shortage of choices, actually. You also may have people a bit confused or anxious, particularly if there were like situations that you were overly involved in or overly concerned with. You know, when you sort of just switch that off, it can kind of change things a bit, because it seems as though the outside influence is maybe a bit fearful, a bit impatient maybe, or just trying to like balance things or figure things out. Whether that pertains to you or not, I don't know, but it's the concern or the worrisome or the sort of not problematic but just difficult energy all seems to be outside of you. Maybe you didn't see your value before. Now you do. Ahead of you, there's the Hierophant and the Sun. You have been illuminated, or you will be illuminated to greater truths, or you will be maybe recognized as an authority on something. Because people do gather to hear the Hierophant speak, or, you know, the Hierophant does hold a sense of authority or ability to influence or even change people's lives in one way or the other. And also, I kind of get the impression of becoming aware of your own divinity as a person. That doesn't mean like you're special, it means the inherent divinity in everyone. And how, you know, perhaps you've had no difficulty understanding that you're no greater than anyone, but also now understanding that you're no less. And you're really sort of like claiming that authority for yourself and acting accordingly. You know, I feel like there's a very cheerful perspective on life, or you're really only interested in dealing with people who make you happy or make you feel good or bring celebration to your life. I think you've had enough grief. I think you've had enough stress. I think you've had enough anxiety. And I think you're over that, basically. Your fears and passions, you have the Ace of Cups. So you're ready for this fresh start. You're ready for this inspiration. You're ready for fulfillment. whatever that looks like. That's the thing, is I don't think you're attaching to the idea of that coming from one place or the other right now. I don't think that you're placing much expectations on how that looks. You're just sort of doing everything you need to do to ensure that it happens. It's like you understand, like, if you build it, they will come kind of thing. They're also, you may be making progress in work, or you may be socializing more. I'm more so seeing it as work just because it's clarified by the Emperor, but that could also represent a matter of authority over yourself in all of your affairs. So, you know, discipline in your work, but also holding proper boundaries and strength within, like, people that you deal with. You know, you have that line in the sand that isn't to be crossed. And, you know, that's a good thing. It's not that we should approach situations defensively or combatively, but we should also know when there is a time to stand up for ourselves or say that, no, this isn't going to work. I want to pull another spread for you. I do want to take a moment to promote my Patreon. That is where all the extended versions of these readings go, as well as exclusive content and monthly art prints. And it's a great way to support me as an independent artist and creative. That being said, I also offer personal readings if you want to work with me on a one-on-one level. I have several options available in my website shop. So my Patreon and my shop can all be accessed in the description below. If you haven't yet, do feel free to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this. I greatly appreciate it. Why do I get the impression that your strength is another's demise? It's almost as if someone counted on you being insecure or less aware. But you're overcoming that anxiety. Yeah, you've balanced out sort of impulsive or reactive energy within yourself. You're really kind of okay with taking your time to observe, because I think that you're also very aware that there's no shortage of directions you could go. There's no shortage of options available to you. It's not like you're desperate by any means. Whereas maybe at one time you kind of felt that way, even though it never was the case. Our perception, it can go a long way. You're almost becoming very magnetic in a sense. And I think that you're, very interested in people. I think that this Ace of Cups is ahead of you, and what it was clarifying was the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. So it's like maybe you allowed sort of this Knight of Cups, like less developed, more flighty kind of energy to come in before, and now it's like, nah, if you're not a king, fuck out of here. You approach a king as a king. The king doesn't have time. You know, the king directs knights. He doesn't want to hang out with them. And that's not limited to gender. You know, it's like, it's energetically speaking. Yeah, in your perspective, there's just like this tower moment where all of a sudden you sort of realize, it's like that feeling of like, the world is your oyster, you know? You know, I do feel like you are maybe catching the interest of people or a person, you know, and the thing is like, as you move in this way, right, it's very contagious in a sense, because it's like that saying, like, smile at the world and the world will smile back. There's a lot of truth to that, because everything starts internally. Everything is through our perspective, you know? I think what you hope for, I mean, what you fear, right, is to revert back to an old state of burden, of obsession, of being sort of consumed with pessimism or negativity. But there's such a level of self-control implied here, and an understanding of your self-control and what is good for you, that I don't think you could ever really unlearn this lesson. Because it's almost like every time there's a situation where you want to react moving forward, there's no way that this information or this understanding is going to leave your mind, right? So I wouldn't worry about that, because it's very much like you've already stepped into this new perception, and so you're going to operate in that perception. The way that you felt or experienced things before was tied to an old narrative that you've seen through. You've seen the holes in it. So you can't just unsee what you've seen, if that makes sense. So I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to take this reading to the extended on my Patreon. So if you want to join us there, awesome. Again, the link is in the description below. If you want to book a personal reading, definitely hit me up. Like, subscribe, share, all that. And I hope you have a great day.